2nd, 2023. I call this meeting of the Wichita County Commissioners Court to order. If everyone would please rise, Commissioner Kincannon will give our invocation.
Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for your many blessings that you pour down on us, Lord. Thank you for everything that you do for us. Continue to be with us, Lord, as we're still asking and praying for rain, Lord. There's some of the forecast, and I'm very thankful that it's there, and I continue. You know what's best for your people and your land, Lord, and I just hope that you bring it to us, Lord. Be with us today as we make the best decisions we can for the county, Lord. Help us in all the decisions we make for the county. Everybody here with our county family, look out for all them, Lord. Be with our first responders and our law enforcement as we continue going through the times that we're going through. Continue, Lord, to be with our government. They need as much help as any of us, Lord. I just continue that you be with them. All this I ask through your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Let's do the pledge to the American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the pledge to the Texas flag.
On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
This time we'll do a presentation of a proclamation declaring the week of October 1st through 7th as National 4-H Week. Don't see that we've got anybody here for 4-H. My guess is the time change on the court got us. So I will still read the proclamation and then we can either bring it back later for presentation or it'll still be proclaimed. So. Whereas the Wichita County Commissioners Court is proud to honor the 4-H Youth Development Program of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service for 116 years of providing experience-based education to youth throughout the Lone Star State. And whereas this admirable program, which seeks to provide a learning experience for all youth through their head, heart, hands, and health, helps young Texans to acquire knowledge, develop life skills, and form attitudes to enable them to become self-directed, productive, and contributing members of our society. And whereas the program's more than 550,000 urban, suburban, and rural youth participants, ranging in age from 8 to 18, hail from diverse ethnic and socioeconomic backgrounds and truly represent a cross-section of the state. And whereas the program undoubtedly could not have achieved the success that it has today were it not for the service of its more than 30,000 volunteers who have given generously of their time, talents, energies, and resources to the youth of Texas. And whereas throughout its proud history, the 4-H program has developed positive role models for countless Texans through its innovative and inspiring programs and continues to build character and to instill the values that have made our state strong. Now, therefore, the Wichita County Commissioners Court hereby designates October 1st through 7th, 2023 as National 4-H Week in Texas and commends the 4-H Youth Development Program of the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service and the many men and women who have made the program a success. So,
4-H started in Jack County, Texas.
did it really?
Sure
Yep.
did.
Okay. They're honorary Wichita County folks down there.
Those 4-H kids are too busy to be here.
No, that's it. That's exactly right, Commissioner. The volunteers are doing other things. Do we have any other presentations this morning? All right. It is 9:04, and we will open up this time for public comments. As a reminder, we ask that anyone who's making comments keep them to 5 minutes or less, and the court cannot take action on any items brought up during this time. Do we have any public comments?
Yes, I would like to introduce my new internal audit manager, Janet Martin.
Good morning.
She comes to us with a lot of auditor experience. She was just recently the auditor for Ellis County, and so she is blessing us with her knowledge and expertise.
Cool.
And headed to retirement in about 24 months.
What's the county seat of Ellis County?
I'm sorry?
What's the county seat?
Waxahachie.
Waxahachie, wow.
Yep.
A growing county,
You bet.
very much so.
They're moving we're growing too, just at a very much smaller.
But smaller scale.
Well, Ms. Evans, welcome. We're glad you're here, and you know that you'll hopefully make Cheryl's life and job a little easier.
I will do my best.
Someone fill in that role.
Thank you, Judge.
Come from one of the prettiest courthouses in Texas to one of the ugliest.
Now,
It's all in the eye of the beholder.
that's right.
I still haven't met anyone that disagrees, but. Did you want to say anything, Janet? Or?
No, I'm glad to be here, and I'm doing what I love, which is internal audit and training staff. And Cheryl is good people, and it's going to be a pleasure to be here.
Okay.
Well, you bring a lot of experience to the table, so that's good.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yeah, I snatched her up real quick.
Good deal. All right.
Judge, yes, I'd just like to comment, the DA's office has gotten some press on their hard stance on fentanyl, and, I mean, it sure sends a message if you're coming to Wichita County, you better pay attention, because we're here to cut your head off for selling fentanyl.
Precedent setting.
Yep.
So, I know it calls them to go and purely by choice, and they have to work double time a lot of times to take on some things that could fall through the rocks, and just thank goodness that we have the dedication and willingness to keep that deterred. So kudos to that whole department, John and his team.
One thing that does show is you don't always have to do it the way it has been done.
Yep.
You can, as a DA's office or a county, reach out there and look for new ways to do things and get something better accomplished.
Yep. That's good. Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else have any public comments this morning? Okay. It is 9:07 and public comment is closed. So then let's move on to the consent agenda.
Judge, I have a couple of items here that I needed to elaborate on or ask questions about both.
Okay.
It's 2 and 3.
All right.
First off, 3, we got some, there's a, and I don't know which one, 3.7 or I think was storm damage for Jack, and I took that as when he discussed time with me, we didn't break that out, and I took it fire, but that storm damage shouldn't be a part of that equation.
That is the 8/11 from 12:30 a.m. to 4:30 a.m.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Storm
that's-
damage, I thought it was the 3.75.
No, I looked at the backup. I mean, I could be wrong, but it.
What are the times?
I
Do you
think it's-
remember, Corey?
Do what?
Do you
Yes, the
remember?
4 hours is the storm damage.
Okay.
I added it in there because it did fall underneath the emergency.
Disaster.
So I figured that you would want him to be paid for the emergency part of that as well.
See, my guy went out that night also.
So we're taking that one off, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And then on item 2, Judge, that property is on the rolls for just over $40,000. And I'm not certain where these offers come from. If you have to be just someone that has searched them out, are we actively selling that property through forms of media and advertisement? But that's a heck of that property jumped $15,000 for what I would read here to tell me it's diminishing property. It jumped $15,000 this last appraisal.
Which I don't know how. Did you look at the backup information on
I
that?
didn't see the pictures. It's an old lodge though.
Uh-huh.
No, that's, looks like it's got,
The city property management doesn't really do anything to try to market it.
But-
They have it listed on their website and they take offers.
but they also are a customer of TC, Texas Community Groups too. And why
they choose not to or not to promote it that direction, I don't know, but this sets on a lot bigger than a lot.
Yeah, it's a good lot. Do you want to pull down them all together?
Well,
information, or-
let's ask some,
You sound
I think we should ask some more questions. I mean, if we haven't been receiving taxes, I don't understand why it's on why did it ever make it to the rolls? As a lodge. Was it improperly done, or
I don't know the answer to that.
is it stricken for other reasons? It doesn't really say. They said there was a value of 4,200 stricken off, but shouldn't a lodge be a 501c3 group that don't pay taxes?
It's
Well, it's
only
not
if they've
much
done
of
the
a
correct
building.
paperwork. I mean, if they don't do the correct paperwork and file their correct 990s, they can lose that 501c3 status pretty quick. You have to do that 3 years in a row before you.
Right.
And how long ago was it an actual used lodge building?
It's
been a while.
been years.
Yeah.
In
I'm gonna say
16, the sheriff's deed took it away from Nelson Lodge number 40.
It's not much of a building, looking at it.
And the reason the cities want to take that offer, I can tell you right now, because they're not wanting to pay to tear it down. Because they're gonna turn around and pay, I don't know what square footage is, but they're gonna
Building's
pay
liability.
close to $4 a square foot to tear that down.
The real estate
It's-
might have some value, but the building's liability.
It's in a blighted area, there's not much other activity going on, most of the properties in it appear to be abandoned.
Would you like to see if I can get Alex, Oregon on the phone from the city? He's the one that sent the request over.
They've got the property valued, the appraisal district does at 2,100. All the rest of it apparently is leaning on the building, which is just crazy to me.
Commissioner, what did you say, the demolition?
You know, that right there, it depends if they do it as a commercial building, they'll have to abate it first. And then, but if they just let it go like it is, it'll be running around $4 a square foot. And that's, I don't blame them. I don't wanna take the $1,200 offer too.
Absolutely.
Instead of tearing it down, because right now they're gonna put and they says in here, they're gonna put they've already acknowledged it as the new buyer, they'll have to either demo the building or bring it up to code. And I doubt they'll bring it up to code.
Well, I doubt there will be either, and then the value is greatly diminished to the value of the property, half price of what the appraisal district values at, and it'll get it back on the roll.
Yeah.
You can tell all the interiors all fell in and molded. I'd like to go, yeah. I'd rather go.
So, you good?
Yeah,
with
I'm good
continuing
with
on?
it.
Not so much recent, it's covered with trees.
Questions on any other items in the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the changes made.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended by Commissioner Mahler, seconded by Commissioner Beecham. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or any of the items on the consent agenda? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. All right. General business item number 1 is review and approve the regular bills for payment. Order County Treasurer to disperse payroll and bill payments within 72 hours via U.S. mail, FedEx, UPS, or electronically unless directed otherwise, or may be picked up and ledgered in the Treasurer's office.
So,
Second.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Buchanan, seconded by Commissioner Beecham to approve the bills for payment. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 2, discuss, consider, and/or take action to accept a grant award in the amount of $19,628.63 for for the FY24 Office of the Governor Public Office County Innovations to Address Commercial Sexual Exploitation Grant and make Southern Grit Advocacy the subrecipient. Before we take action on this, Vicki, would you like to come up and say anything about it?
Thank you. So we have 3 participating schools, Electra ISD, City View, and Bart Burnett ISD, and they picked 2 different prevention curricula, Empower Youth Program from I Empathize, and the Prevention Project Through Free Crime that used to be Richmond Justice Initiative. So the grant will pay for the license, which is good for 1 year. Southern Grit can go in and teach that, or we can coach their teachers, whoever they choose to do it. So that is yet to be determined. Southern Grit will receive a reimbursement for printing the supplies and copies and ordering things in the amount of $1,032, $1,032.33. The rest benefits the schools and the supplies that they need. So we did start purchasing notebooks when they were on sale this summer, but we still have to order some more.
And the schools for the licenses, they can either purchase them and get reimbursed through the grant, or y'all can do that and get reimbursed through the grant?
Yes, so I did email, let them know that the grant was awarded and that we're meeting today, and asked them, are they able to purchase it, or do they need us to purchase it, and then we would get reimbursed from the county. So I haven't heard from anybody yet, but I'll follow up with a phone call.
Okay. And just as a reminder, because it's been a few months since we had you come in, the program is designed to help middle school age students.
Middle school and high school.
Middle school and high school students to know the signs of potential trafficking and sexual
Right, so
exploitation.
personal safety and human trafficking and prevention education. So teens are the highest at risk in America for this crime, although traffickers target as low as age 11, but that's not licensed curricula, that's free curricula. And the fastest online growing crime against teens is sextortion, and it is so serious, it's blackmail. It's where teens are enticed to send an inappropriate, sexually explicit image, a partially nude or fully nude image to someone they think is maybe their same age or close. And then the minute that the trafficker builds this trust relationship, then they get them to send that, and then that relationship immediately changes and they're blackmailed, and it's called sextortion. They're blackmailed to either send more images to meet up, or to bring a friend, to do whatever they say to do, send more images or meet up. And it's so serious that teens are committing suicide over it because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to ask a trusted adult for help. So prevention education is so key, and it's one of the top pillars identified by Texas and by the White House to combat human trafficking is prevention education.
Excellent. Do you have any questions for Vicki?
Well, thank you for your work.
Yeah, hard work.
Thank you.
Cool, it's a good day.
Thank
Good
you.
recognize. All right, do we have a motion to accept the grant?
So,
Second.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Beecham, seconded by Commissioner Kincannon to accept the grant award in the amount of $19,628.63. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 3, discuss, consider, and/or take action on the Sheriff's Office letter of intent to be sent to police outfitters for the purchase of 10 Chevrolet Tahoe police vehicles. One of the chiefs, do y'all want to come forward for?
Morning.
Because we don't see a lot of letters of intent around here, so can you clarify what this is?
Sure, it's not a financial obligation to any upfitter. It's just saying that we do intend on purchasing up to 10 vehicles. If things changes, like the quotes change, I can reduce that number to whatever they're going to sell those Tahoes anyways. They're just earmarking some for us.
does that hold us a place in line for
Yes, sir.
production? Okay.
And
Which
are-
we've done with our equipment. So.
Did they rig them too, Patrick?
Yes, sir, the company I'm talking to does.
fully equipped other than, well, I guess our radios and.
Yes, sir.
that stuff.
Yeah, but they'll actually do the radios, you know, if we send them to them, but, you know, that's all logistical.
This was asked of me earlier this morning, if the court is able or decides to move forward on a fleet management solution of some sort. This is still fine because it's a letter of intent, we can always say.
Yeah, never
we
mind.
don't need
Yes,
it.
sir. Yes, sir, no financial obligation to the court.
But they participate through some state purchasing agreement, right?
Yes, sir, they purchased the Tahoes through a buy board dealership, Silsby.
Much change in the 24s that you know of, or is there?
No, sir, they're gonna be very similar to the 23s.
Sometimes they'll, like you mentioned.
We had, Patrick, we had truck, now, have you taken possession of a 24 already?
No, sir.
Because we've had some trouble with those grill protectors for the pickups because there was a change in hookups and they had not modified. And I know you're a big component or advocate to use those grills, and I just wondered if they found a solution.
Will they be equipped, won't they, with the grill guards?
Yes, sir, yeah, we'll spec them with grill guards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about, you know, year to year, we had a change between 14 and 15. We wanted to move a cage to keep, you know, the prisoners in, and they modified the bolt holes by 1/4 of an inch, so we couldn't use it and get a whole new one. So,
Missed it by that.
Yeah,
Do
exactly
you
what it was.
think, Patrick, that we're able to identify upon the receipt of these vehicles, do you think that we could identify the release of 10 vehicles from the fleet?
I would like to talk to the sheriff before I answered that. Just me spitballing, we could probably get really close to that number. We are having some maintenance issues because of the age of the vehicles. We have some 2017s that are over 120,000 miles that are starting to rack up some major bills.
That was really my question, what's the higher range of mileage you're looking at in the fleet now, so in that neighborhood?
Yes, sir, we do have one 2017 that's almost has 180,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
So the 17s are really getting up there. They're starting to cost us.
Okay.
All right.
Judge, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion by Commissioner Muller and seconded by Commissioner Watts to approve and accept the letter from the Sheriff's Office as the letter of intent. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item itself? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Item number 4. Everyone's favorite weekly item. Discuss, consider, and/or take action to approve one of 2 quotes for air filter service at the LEC for the remainder of 2023. Chief?
Here we go.
All right, so just so that everyone's on the same page, this is for the
Fall.
rest, this is for fall 2023. Okay.
Yes.
And then-
So we reached out to Trinity and James Lane both last week to clarify what they had submitted previously. Trinity will replace the filters, change the filters out, haul them off for $1,000 labor and $4,800 for the filters for a total of $5,800. They also have like a $67 financing charge thrown in there. I don't know why, but so a little less than $6,000.
It's a finance charge.
I don't know why they put that on the bill. So
We're not financing, we're.
exactly, but I don't.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what's on their paperwork. James Lane will do a fall HVAC maintenance for $61.98, which includes replacing the filters, check gas pressure, check venting, check the burners, inspect the heat exchanger, check the dangerous levels of carbon monoxide or 4 carbon dangerous levels, test safeties, I don't know what that is, inspect hot surface igniter, check all electrical connections, check amp draw and bearing on motors, check defrost on heat pumps, check drain lines,
and check supply temperature and thermostat for $61.98.75. And it's replacing all the filters.
So it's $400 difference for doing a number of extra services.
Did he list haul off filters? I didn't hear.
Yeah, they'll haul off filters.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of extras for $400.
Yeah.
But you care to say anything on that, Ray?
Oh, I'm just listening to what you're saying, I guess, so Trinity's not really gonna be doing maintenance, they're typically, they're just doing
fitting out
air
filters.
filters.
Yeah,
Where James Lane, according to the quote, they're gonna do
a little
the
preventive
routine maintenance, which
Yeah.
is a good idea and should be done. Testing the safeties, those are your burner limit safeties and things like that, so the better value obviously lies with James Lane pretty easily there. Based on the
I don't see how
information.
they could do it for that, really, not every unit.
Well, I mean, we don't know that they do.
Correct.
What happens if they break something? We know what happens then. So I'm just not a big fan of getting away from who we typically used. But I'm not opposed to giving them more like what Rick says to do, but my taste for one has greatly diminished.
Yeah. Best value only, in the eye of the beholder again, and
That's a huge.
Yeah, Trinity didn't include a lot of information.
Maybe I
Rick,
misread that.
Rick, have you, the last time, I guess was the
Doesn't show
first
anything
time,
about filters.
but you didn't eyeball those filters coming out of there, did you?
No, I don't really do much of anything at the LEC. They take care of their own stuff.
We'll try to look at those.
We remember we sent y'all some pictures about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
5 samples that we pulled out, and they were just dirty as they could be.
And that's why I wondered, Will, if some of them needed
Some parts more often if
you'd
they're
be crazy
100%
not to.
outside air draw.
Right.
And I don't know which ones required 100% draw, and they'll just have to figure it out.
so Chief, looking at the James Lane quote, I think that the more apples to apples comparisons probably their winter.
It is, but when I had Jeff reach out to them, they said, when I'm talking about the fall maintenance, that's what they offered for the fall maintenance. Now, they may do the filters and just the filters, but
Well, in their winter HVAC maintenance, it says replace filters.
Inspect heat
that
cycle.
would, normally winter would be your January change out. When their fall is gonna be your October change out.
Yeah, I guess they're just, their fall offer is much more extensive than what
Yeah.
Hope was asking for. Significant price difference, especially when you look at $4,000 for just the winter one, which is just the filter replacing, to the $5,800. So what do we think is best value?
Well, I think Trinity is the best value, and they're a trusted vendor. And I think if we need to inject some additional mandates on them or put someone with them while they go through this process to either number our units so that we know, hey, Unit 1 struggles over Unit 5 or whatever.
Well, all the units are numbered, they just have to.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, if that's what you're worried about, your better value is James Lane. If you want to put somebody with them, make sure they'll tear up nothing, you can do the same thing. So, that's a lot of additional work
It is,
for $400.
which to my knowledge has not been done since
Probably
we've
not.
inhabited that building.
It appears to me that you may want to ask Trinity if you're, I don't know if you, did you solicit that just for air filters?
We solicited it for air filters and asked them what else they would do, then it's only air filters. All they
Okay.
wanted to do.
So Trady was clear about, we're just doing air filters, we're not doing maintenance.
Yeah.
This is a one-time, one-shot deal, and I think next year our intent's to go out for an RFP, RFQ.
Mhm.
Since none of this has been inspected correctly since we moved into the building, for the price difference for the higher level of maintenance, I think James Lane does provide a better value, even though we've had issues with them in the past.
What does preventative maintenance mean on the Trinity proposal?
That's just changing air filters for them.
Yeah, it is.
Because that's the same language that was used on the last one.
Yeah,
They
it
just
was.
came in and changed filters.
And we do not have a problem with Trinity, they do a good job, so.
Ricky, on the difference in that James Lane, what do you think the value was if we were just gonna have a HVAC company come in and do the checking all the gas, checking all your gauges, checking all your drain lines? What do you think that would run to do that, LEC wide?
That's a good question, since, I mean, I know there's a lot of units out there, but I mean, I'd have to put the numbers to it, but it's time consuming.
You've been in the HVAC business for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you to spitball.
I mean, you know,
Off the
if
cuff.
you're doing routine maintenance, and heating's typically doesn't take as long as cooling, because you're not
Right.
washing condensers and things like that, you're doing cooling. But for heating, you know, you would spend at least an hour per unit as a technician doing maintenance. So if you want to multiply that by, and those are your just smaller rooftop units. Now, when you get into the larger 100% outdoor air units, you probably have a lot of heat makeup on those. You know, those could take a couple hours. So you almost just have to find out how many units you got and then start doing the math.
How many
But
units are out there with?
A bunch.
Like,
So is this a
There's
realistic
probably
cost
2
to
dozen
do
units on
everything
top.
that they list?
Well, I mean,
so there's 40 units?
There's probably 2 dozen at least up top.
That's what I'm saying. That's,
At least,
you're talking,
yeah.
that's thousands of dollars worth of value. And I don't know if they're giving us that quote because they're trying to get back in and they're trying to do more work to make that right. I don't know, but
I can
to
tell
me,
you
that's
what
a mark.
contractors do a lot of times, especially in the fall, because your business starts falling off considerably when you go from summer 106 to fall.
Right.
And so during that time, you have people standing around in the shop and you're bleeding money at that point. So you just want to do something where you can at least offset some of your loss, because you're gonna probably lose some money. So that could be the reasoning behind that. I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay.
All right. Do we have a motion on either one?
I'll make a motion for James Lane.
I'll second it.
So we've got a motion by Commissioner Pincanon, seconded by Commissioner Beecham to accept the quote from James Lane for fall HVAC maintenance, a quoted price of $6,198.75. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-1. Commissioner Watts voting in the negative. All right. Item number 5. Discuss, consider, and/or take action to approve the best value of 3 quotes to paint the exterior of the Emergency Management Office to be paid from Department 513 with lines determined by the county auditor. Lee, do you want to come up and present on this?
So we moved into that building, I'm gonna say about 18 years ago. At that time it was painted, and since then, the paint just got old and chalked, and there's a couple different colors on there, and just, it really needs to be repainted. The estimates that I got, the 3 that you have, are estimates that came from recommendations. I only know one of these contractors personally, but they came highly recommended, all 3 of them did.
So we've got 3 estimates, MJ Painting at $4,500, Empire at $7,500, and Bill Smith at $8,400. And it looked like from all of those that it was all identical, doing the same thing.
Will the low bid here, Lee, wash that too?
Yes, they'll,
Okay.
yeah, they'll power wash. We already tried doing that. And trustees came over and used a pressure wash and tried to wash it and clean it, and it just really made it worse.
Is there a solution that goes in that when they do that, that
I'm not
helps
sure what the
take
painters
that
use.
chalk off?
Yes, but they're using direct to metal primer and paint both.
Bringing in pictures. That's the first I'd heard about it this weekend when I got the agenda package. Do you have any places that are, I hadn't noticed that building being that bad. That's why I'm trying to think. I know it's faded, it's an old,
Yeah.
it's like a burnt tag off.
It's faded and chalked really bad. When you touch it, I mean, the paint comes off on you and on your clothes. And it's got the body of the building's the only thing getting painted. The trim is fine. So it's just the body color, and it's got a couple different body colors on it now where it was had some damage and touched up in the past.
Are you changing the color?
Just a little bit, just tinting the paint a little bit to match more of the building in the back.
Building in the back is a tan?
And it's kind of a gold.
Is it
Yellow
gold also?
kind of thing. Yeah, they don't match. We took the signs off. I don't know, I think there's 3 signs on the building. We took those off a while back to get them redone because the sun had really hammered those. They were all peeling. Got them redone. We pulled them off. You could actually see the color.
The old color?
We better put them back in exactly the same spot, because they were.
Well, we need this group to give us some pricing on those 2-story houses on top of the old jail, where it's really doing the same thing, even worse than what Lee's buildings do. Maybe after the roof is finished or something. Because I've seen this done before, and it really seems to work and hold up.
All right. So from your take, Lee, you don't have any, best value here is the lowest estimate?
I would say, yeah, for sure. I don't know, there's a big difference in price of paint. I mean, even if you just get estimates at your house, it's a huge difference in paint. I don't know if the guys just get more labor. I mean, the paint's about the same cost to everybody's. It's all about the labor.
I think this goes back to that thing Ricky was saying earlier.
Yeah.
How valuable your time is depends on how busy you are.
Yep.
Okay, do we have a motion?
So moved to accept MJ.
Second.
We had a motion by Commissioner Watson, seconded by Commissioner Buchanan, to approve the quote from MJ Painting at $4,500. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or this item? All right, the motion is before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Lee.
Thank you.
Item number 6, discuss, consider, and/or take action on J. Manasco Roofing Company estimate number 766 for spray Ganex roof repair at a cost of $8,300, and estimate number 765 for courthouse roof repair at a cost of $4,600 to be paid from the Permanent Improvement Fund with lines determined by the county auditor. Commissioner Beecham or Ricky? Go.
Yeah, both of these damages were a result of the downburst event a month ago. The one at the spray Ganex was just recently discovered. They're both under warranty, but not for acts of God, and so
Well,
have to be
even
done.
these two, from what I've seen, even these are the most expensive damages we had from that event.
That,
And
my garage doors,
we're still way below the.
yeah, well below the threshold.
Okay.
And Manasco was the person that did the
They did
repairs
the
on both those
roof
to start
on
with
both.
the roof.
Yeah, that's
So-
Manasco.
To keep the warranties in place, need to have them do the
Yeah.
repair.
That's
Natural.
correct. So that'd be my motion.
I'll say.
We've got a motion by Commissioner Beecham and seconded by Commissioner Kincannon to approve estimate number 766 for $8,300 and estimate number 765 for $4,600. Do we have any questions or comments on the motion or the item? All right, the motion's before us. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign.
We need to contact them immediately to get them out, the annex for sure this week.
They can get it done before tomorrow.
The motion carries 5-0.
No hurry.
I thought he was about to vote no on his own motion. You know.
No. Just having to wait on that is,
All right, that takes us to item number 7, which is receive update on courthouse renovation, elevator projects, and county courthouse annex. Commissioner Beecham?
TK's back on site today. From the last email I got from them, they've got the inspection scheduled for Wednesday. I'm not holding my breath. We'll see. Here in the courthouse, the biggest thing we've got going right now is 5th floor, trying to get that open for next week. We do have the health and benefits fair scheduled, is it Tuesday?
Yep.
Tuesday of next week. So should be complete with everything up there by then. Air conditioners are up and running. Everything else is good. Just got floor tile and some tile work to be done and windows to put in. Annex, it's continuing as it was last week. Still doing drop ceiling in the tag area. Still got a lot of electrical work going on. We do have that change order we're working on to include that additional plumbing for the 2nd floor restrooms, which will also require an additional abatement of asbestos. That ceiling is asbestos.
One other thing, the MF Liticon has saw it fit to, after discussion, I would assume, the county clerk's office has been getting some finish up work on the north wall, ceiling tiles from the flood. They're putting all that back together, staining, and a lot better. It's getting done to seem to be a lot more
Good.
than it was before.
And I was down looking at the election administrator office, and man, it's a good space, a nice big space. It's a significant upgrade for them.
Yeah, I'm glad we made the change to add the old IT office back into that, so it did make it a lot better space for them. That's really all I have.
Okay. Any questions, comments on this item?
The NRCS and FSA heads moved out of the building in Iowa Park. I've got the keys. They've got a few pieces of furniture that should be gone this week. They've donated to some people, so they'll be completely clear the next few days.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments on that? All right, no action to take on that. So it is 9:44. At this time, going to go into closed session for a briefing and discussion regarding the purchase of real property. This meeting is closed pursuant to section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code, deliberation regarding real property. So at this time, I'll ask everyone except Mr. Sykes, Mr. Ramey, and Ms. Jones to exit the room.
Thank you.
Thank you. it is 10:27, and we are back in open session. And we will be taking no action on closed session item today. So with that, it's still 10:27, and court is adjourned.